First, there was Earth.
Boring! Then came Neopets!
Neopets is a virtual pet browser game originally created in 1999 and was an instant success, generating hundreds of thousands of daily page views in just a month of its release. It continued to rise in popularity until around 2005, and since then, the site has experienced many ups and downs. Currently, it's experiencing a bit of a revival, with new in-game storylines and an abundance of new merchandise. Since Neopets peaked during a time where companies were slapping their label on anything and everything, the merch can get kinda weird, so let's get into it. Starting out, we have the World of Art Neopets sticker sheet and matching tote bags. These were exclusive to this year's San Diego Comic-Con. Honestly, I think these are so neat and the artwork is surprisingly refined for Neopets, but what really gets me is the inclusion of religious artwork. Does this mean Chia Jesus is canon lore now? This might not even count as real merch, since it was only meant for Neopets staff, but it is so funny to me that it even got made. For those who don't know, this is a reference to this post on the Neopets forum in 2017 that became a pretty well-known meme within the community. I wasn't able to find any other photos of this shirt, so maybe this is the only one that exists, but I think it deserves a public release for sure. I had no idea scented enamel pins even existed until I was researching for this video, and I feel like it's a crazy concept. If you have these on your clothes or like your purse or your bag, is anyone really getting close enough to smell them? The pins are actually so cute though, I just feel like it's a silly gimmick. These came out earlier this year and they're still being sold, so if you own one or even all of these, I would love to hear how they actually smell. Maybe this isn't that weird because lots of franchises have gotten their own cereals throughout the years, but it just feels silly that a little internet game about taking care of your pets got big enough to warrant this. It did come out in 2006, which was right around Neopets' peak, but it's a little disappointing that there wasn't more effort put into this. There are plenty of cereal items in Neopets that they could have based it on, but it just looks like a Trix knockoff. At least it came with some promo cards, I guess. This is another somewhat common type of merch, and I just think it's so baffling. Who even wants a gold-plated Jetsam or silver Slorg earrings? I just don't get it. While these certainly aren't the most expensive fandom jewelry that you can buy, I'm not sure it's worth the price. In 2023, Neopets released their own cookbook and they had a giveaway contest to celebrate. Everyone who participated was eligible to receive a signed copy of the book, a Neopets oven mitt, and a matching apron. I love a themed giveaway and this is no exception, but it just feels a little forced as Neopets merch. At least the recipes are actually fun and easy to make though. This gives me the same vibe as the jewelry. Who is this for? Who is honestly spending money on this? In general, I'm personally not a fan of anything that is made with the sole purpose of being a collector item and nothing else. You can eat the cereal, you can wear or display enamel pins, you can use an oven mitt, but coins? They're only meant for hoarding and hoping maybe one day they'll be worth something more. I think the real purpose of these is the virtual prize codes they come with, because I guess paying for an in-game item with real money is only okay sometimes. Before we get into the top 3, I'd just like to give a shout out to the ones that didn't make the cut. There was some other cool staff exclusive merch, including a messenger bag that is actually so cool, and I wish they would sell it. This shirt, which was only given to those who participated in a Southern California focus group in the year 2000. The shirt itself is pretty boring, but just the fact that Neopets was big enough to warrant this within a year of their conception really shows how explosive their impact was. Finally, multiple iterations of what is basically just a Tamagotchi, sometimes mixed with other gimmicks. I actually had one of these as a kid, which was like Tamagotchi meets Polly Pocket, and I was obsessed. A collaborative effort between Energizer and Neopets led to this wild decision. In the early 2000s, if you bought one of these specially marked Energizer battery packs, you could win a screensaver, a virtual prize code, or even a plushie. I just think it's so funny to imagine a little kid begging their parents to buy Neopets batteries just for the special prize. In 2004, Hasbro collaborated with Neopets and they came out with the Neo Pen. This was exclusive to Toys R Us in Australia and New Zealand. It was an ink pen that included a little digital screen on it that allowed you to store phone numbers, set a timer or reminder, use a calculator, or even play games on it. This one is really like if you wanted a Tamagotchi to almost be a cell phone. It has that same virtual pet thing going on where you have to feed it, play with it, put it to sleep, but it can also do math. You controlled it by twisting, clicking, or pressing a button. To me, it feels like if you can trust your child with this, in theory, you should be able to trust them with a cheap cell phone. The year is 2006. We're entering a new modern world where the internet is becoming intertwined with daily life. Neopets is not about to be left behind, so they collaborated with Sony to create the Neopets Collector Edition Z530i cell phone. It came with a special Neopets case and a Kachik plush with a cute little backpack that doubled as your cell phone holder. If that wasn't enough, you could play Neopets on your phone, and you could transfer that data to your computer. You could bring your pet everywhere and play with it anytime. Can you even imagine how cool that was? Well, at least in theory. Supposedly this was only ever sold at flagship Sony stores in Taiwan and was extremely limited. I'm not convinced anyone even bought it because I could only find promotional images for it, but in my heart, I know there is at least one out there. Luckily, Neopets continues to exist over 25 years after the site was initially created, and I hope they have another 25 years in them to keep making weird stuff. I had a really fun time going through everything they have ever sold, and there were some things that I had as a kid that I totally forgot about, and I hope this video reminded you of some fun Neopets toys you had too.